Hi, I'm Sue Spencer and I'm a certified KonMari consultant based in Winchester in the UK. I first discovered Marie Kondo and the life-changing magic of tidying back in 2017 whilst on a career break. In 2018 I set up a Life More Organised, a professional organising company, and attended the UK KonMari seminar in London. I continued on my training to become a KonMari consultant and eventually certified in September 2018. I work with all sorts of people, from busy couples and families through to people that are moving homes and those that have sadly lost a loved one. I really enjoy helping people by listening to them and supporting them on their tidying journeys, which can sometimes be quite emotional. I often find that people just don't have the time to get organised and are feeling quite overwhelmed and just don't know where to start. And that's really where someone like myself as a KonMari consultant comes in, because we act as a support and guide all the way through that process. We're impartial and non-judgmental, which means they're able to just be able to talk about everything as they go through. And we're also an extra fresh pair of eyes on the scene, so we're able to look at things in a different way, come up with ideas for storage, and also an extra pair of hands, which means that they get the job done and we stay on track. Today I'd like to share with you 3 things that I find really useful and helpful in the way that the KonMari method works. Number 1 is the phrase spark joy. This for me is something that completely turned tidying my own home on its head, because prior to reading the book I'd always looked for things to discard around my home, which is quite a negative way of entering it and looking for things you don't like. Whereas I find with the spark joy methodology, what you're doing is you're creating a positive focus on tidying your home. You're looking for things that stir your heart, items that you really love and enjoy. Everyone in their has in their wardrobe either a top or a dress that they love wearing. It's that case of putting it on and thinking, yeah, I feel great today, I'm ready for the world. And I think helping people understand what sparks joy in their lives, whether it be ornaments around the house, things that make life slightly easier, clothes that they put on that make their lives brighter, even photos in their wardrobes that make them smile as they open up first thing in the morning. That's great, because it really helps them to identify with how they want their home to feel, and they end up curating a home that completely identifies with them. Number 2 is working by categories. And I find this a really, really powerful way to help people really get an understanding of what's in their homes. By working by categories, we encourage people to gather items of a similar nature together in one place. By doing that, they can see the volume of items they have that are very similar, and the duplication of items. So for example, with clothing as a category, I would be encouraging people to gather all their tops together. I've had one lady that at one point had 8 black long sleeve tops that she wore for work, and she had no idea why, because in any one week she'd only ever wear 2. By gathering items by category, you get an understanding of the volume, and then we sort them through, and they will choose the items that either spark joy or those items that maybe don't fit with their ideal lifestyle, which we'll have talked about and identified in our consultation at the start of the process. Once they've done that, and they've sorted out the items that spark joy and they want to keep, they let the items they don't want go. And by doing that, what they're doing is they are thanking them with gratitude, because those items have played an important role in their lives and they've had purpose, but they no longer fit the lifestyle they currently have. So that's another thing I love about KonMari. We're always dealing with gratitude and being thankful for what we have. We work in order through the categories. So first of all, we start off with clothing, and that can be tops, dresses, skirts, and it can extend through to shoes and handbags. Then we look at books, then papers, then kimono, and kimono is broken down into many, many categories, but it's basically miscellaneous categories around the home, such as toiletries, stationery, items in the kitchen. And finally, we look at sentimental. And the reason we work through this order is because people hone their sensitivity to what sparks joy as they're working through the process. So we leave the things that are most difficult, like sentimental, right until the end of the process. The third thing I wanted to talk about today is storage. So we always tell people the final storage place for things in your home isn't actually decided until right at the end of the process. And this is because we don't know where things need to be stored until we know exactly what we're storing and how much you have left. And this isn't about minimalism. As long as your items spark joy, you can have as many of them as you want in your home, and that's really a lovely thing to have in your home if you have a home full of things you love. So with storage, the other thing is we tell people not to buy specific storage. There's so many things around our home that we can use again and repurpose. Things like shoe boxes are perfect. With the storage, we often find that actually we don't need as much as we originally had, because one, we've been through clothes and decluttered wardrobes, so we've got less to put back in the wardrobes. But the next thing we do is we teach people the KonMari method of folding, and this is great because it really helps to maximise the storage space you have, because what you're doing is you're folding clothes really carefully and making them fit into drawers and wardrobes like they never did before. Let me demonstrate. So first of all, just taking this sweatshirt, laying it flat on a surface and running my hands over it. What I'm doing here is I'm just making sure that the item's in really lovely condition, no holes or anything, much easier to fix a hole before it's being worn and you're out and about. And I fold one side of the garment into the centre, folding the arms back on itself, and the same on the other side. And whenever we're folding using the KonMari method, what we're trying to end up with is a rectangle, and we look to fold in the top of the garment down to around 2/3 and then into thirds again. So you end up with a lovely folded sweatshirt that you can either pop in a drawer like so, or pop to one side until all your sweatshirts are folded and then you store them together. And that method also works for jeans. A pair of jeans here, or any trousers, leggings, gym gear and stuff like that. So what we do is we lay those on a flat surface, like so, and again just check them to make sure they're in great condition. We fold one leg on top of the other, like so, tuck in any bits that are sticking out. So once again we've created that rectangular shape. We fold upwards from the ankles towards the waistband, and then fold again into thirds. One. Just like so. And again, we've got a lovely little package that stands up by itself. Now what you can do is you can either just slot these into your drawer, like so, or use something like a shoe box, or storage that you can buy from numerous places, and pop the jeans in like that, and the sweatshirt on top. And that little box just then acts in the drawers like a little divider if you've got wider drawers. The great thing about storing in this method is that we store things upright, which means once you open your drawer, you are able to see exactly what you've got, so you can pick your jeans out. And it also means that you haven't got anything folded one on top of the other in the drawer, so you don't, which is generally when that happens, you never get to use the item on the bottom because you never see it. Well, I hope you found that interesting. Thank you ever so much for listening, and if you wanted to know any more about KonMari, then please take a look at my website, A Life More Organised. Thank you.